Okay guys, so now that we kind of have an idea about how the graphic works, I want to talk to you about two-step conversion problems because I think that's the next thing that we're going to get into. So I'm actually going to leave the bottom part of this. We're not going to touch volume right now. And I'm going to assume that you guys remember Avogadro's number as well. So we're going to pick something that's pretty simple. Why don't we just pick H2O, because that's a simple one. 2 hydrogens. 1 oxygen, 2 times the weight of hydrogen is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 1 oxygen, the atomic weight of oxygen is 16. So we know the molecular weight of water is 18. Great. So I said, that's terrific. So I know the molecular weight is 18. I have 4.5 grams of water, right? How many molecules is that? How do I figure out how many molecules do I have there? Okay, so that's a lot trickier, all right? Because it's like, well, wait a second, I know how to go from, there's no conversion from grams, I got grams, how do I get from grams to molecules? Well, you can't. You have to take 2 steps. I have to go from grams to moles, and I know how to do that conversion. Then I have to go from moles to molecules, which we're going to do right now. All right, and that'll give you an idea of how to solve this kind of problem. It works the same way the other way. If I gave you a number of molecules and asked you how many grams, you'd have to go in the opposite direction. All right, so let's try this. Okay, and that is causing a problem. One second, guys. I wrote with I wrote with a marker that's not okay. Let's pause it. Okay, guys. Apparently that was a permanent marker there. That wasn't a good thing. So anyways, let's go back. We have to convert 4.5 grams of water into how many molecules? Okay, so we solve these problems exactly the way we always have. Write down what we have. 4 grams H2O, 4.5 grams H2O. I looked to write down what I'm looking for, molecules. All right, and then I say, okay, well, what do I have to do? Well, I know it's going to take 2 steps because I need to go from grams to moles and then moles to molecules. So the first thing is to say, okay, I want to convert grams to moles, which means I want to wind up with moles and I want grams to cancel out. So I know I have 18 grams in 1 mole because I calculated that before. All right, so that's good. That cancels out. I'm left with moles. So it's 4.5 divided by 1.8, and I can tell you that right now because I did it in my head. It's going to equal 0.25 moles. Okay? Now this is where it gets a little tricky because now I have to multiply that by, I have to go from moles to molecules. And we know that in 1 mole we have Avogadro's number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Okay? Now, the good news is that I kind of gave you kind of nice numbers. This is roughly 25% of this. So that is going to be half of 6.02 is 3.01. Half of that is 1. So when you multiply that out, you're going to get something like 1.505 times 10 to the 23rd. So that's how many molecules you're going to wind up having. Okay? So I realize that's a little bit much, but they basically all work the same way. If you guys know how to use your calculators so that they can do exponents, you'll be fine. If you don't, I can actually post a little tutorial on that as well. All right, so that's how this works. This is how you go from molecules to moles. It works exactly the opposite way for the other thing. Okay, just remember, if you're going from that pyramid, if you're going from one corner to the other, you have to go from grams to moles, then moles to molecules. If you want to do the opposite, you go from molecules to moles and moles to gram. That's the way that works.